Hi, this is Bob Cobb with My Master Hypnotist, and I want to welcome you to our Essential Keys video series. This is where we ask you questions that salespeople should be asking themselves, but very often are not. And the answers to these particular questions often are the root of quantum leaps in results that salespeople, persuaders, influencers are able to achieve in their influence and persuasion processes. So today's question I want to ask, when you're trying to tap into your clients' emotions, if you believe that emotions are the keys to buying decisions, which is what the research tells us, is the process that you're using a generalized one, sort of a one-size-fits-all that works for just about everybody, or is it a specific one tailored to that particular client? And if your answer is a generalized one, that can be a good answer under one circumstance. And that one circumstance is you're using a specific process that gets tailored to the person individually. I do a lot of work, for example, with financial advisors. And one of the questions that I'll ask them is, what are you doing to tap into your clients' compelling emotional outcomes? And they say, well, I typically talk to them about fear, what their fear of loss or fear of not hitting their financial goals or fear of not being able to retire, or I go toward their greed. And these are the two most contagious of all human emotions, particularly when it comes to investing. People get caught up in the moment, and they get caught up in the panic, and they get caught up in the greed when one particular asset class is doing very well. But those are very generalized approaches to tapping into a client's emotions. What you want to do is understand what is the specific emotional outcome that's most important to your clients. Because think about this for a second. Why does a client or prospect buy your particular product? And not knowing anything necessarily about what it is that you sell, it's safe to say that some people buy it on price. Some people buy it for convenience. Some people buy it for reliability. Some people may buy it for various types of safety issues. Some people buy it based on the relationship that they have with you or your firm and the reliability that they perceive that to have. And probably if you were to think of 20 different people who have purchased your product or services over the course of the last year or so, there may be 15 to 18 or even 20 different reasons that they may have given as the main reason that they ended up doing business with you. But let's take it a step further. If you were to ask them how they define a good price or safety or reliability or whatever that presenting outcome was, if you were to dive into their mental blueprint to really understand what it was that they were trying to achieve, then odds are very good. If you asked 100 different people, you may get 100 different answers, or at the very least 75 or 80 different answers of the way that they measure it. So you can see that if we are simply relying on fear or greed, or whatever the two most frequent drivers are in your particular industry, then we're going to end up being what Zig Ziglar used to call a wandering generality and not a meaningful specific. And one of the things that we teach you inside of My Master Hypnotist is how to elicit people's specific compelling emotional outcomes and make sure that we understand their blueprint their limiting belief, their map of the world, if you will, and specifically how they define it, and the parameters that they're going to use to determine whether or not those particular outcomes are being met. So if you are either not diving in to find out your client's compelling emotional outcomes, or using a very broad-based, generic, one-size-fits-all strategy in order to be able to achieve that, we've got some resources for you inside of My Master Hypnotist that can take your spray and pray method, your very diffused flashlight, and turn it into a sharpshooter's ability to hit the target and make your presentation a lot more meaningful, a lot more specific, and the biggest benefit of all, a lot more compelling and irresistible. And the only place that it really matters, the mind of your client or prospect. So hopefully we'll see you inside checking out some of those resources at mymasterhypnotist.com. We'll see you on a future video. Hey, it's Bob again. Thanks for watching our video. And my guess is by now, you're already beginning to wonder, where do I go to get my hands on more of these videos? And we've got a special place set up for you on our website. Just go over to mymasterhypnotist.com/more information, and you'll have access to over 24 of these training videos. Just fill out the form that's right there on the site, and the first one will be on its way to you in just a matter of a few seconds. Thanks, and we'll see you again soon.